I'll be starting in just a moment. I'm just getting the last few things figured out, and then we can begin. Just making sure everything is green and good to go. All right. Everything good? You can see me? I got pants on. I'm not naked. Okay. Good. Good. Make sure that's turned up. Make sure I can hear myself. Okay. Very good. Might be a little loud still. I mean, it does, just like side, supposed to be just side chaining. There we go. Turn it down a little. Turn it down. Pants are always optional when sitting on the stream. Well, you don't know what kind of pants I'm wearing. I'm actually wearing pajama pants because I'm gonna be comfy. I don't know. I did a little dance. Music's good volume. Okay. All right. I'll actually turn it back to where it was. Audio good. Yeah. Audio check. Not that I'm recording this, so it doesn't matter. Whatever. So, today, I kind of want to like chill in here for a bit. I'm going to work on Void Home for a bit. I'm going to work on Hymn of the Dragon Flower. Keep saying other things. Hymn of the Dragon Flower for a bit. Which is like, I'm excited to kind of show off what I've been doing for restructuring that adventure. I've actually put a lot of thought into how to restructure an adventure for more narrative systems. And I think this is a good template, not just for Cypher, but for a lot of narrative systems. And I'm excited to apply this in the future. And I think that the adventure by Mr. Tarask and myself, the converted adventure or whatever, rewritten adventure, it's probably a better term. Hopefully maybe like it'll turn into like a template that we will be using as a community in the future. So worth checking out, maybe. So we'll see. Being comfy always needs a little happy dance. Yes. Oh, all right. Do I want to keep it green in the background? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, so once again, I don't have Moonbeam is not part of my unified chat. I've got on the side. I've got which way? This way. Twitch and YouTube chat will show up. I don't have Moonbeam showing up yet. Because they are not part of Restream. I can't put them into a unified chat yet. Which was morning here, so I could drink coffee as well. Yeah, right. Gotta have your coffee. Yeah. I got a bunch of cups like this. Like I'm Canadian. Even my cups gotta have like flannel. right? All right. Let's talk about the last few things I think I need to do for Void Home before I pump out the last playtest. There's obviously some more things that still need to be written, which, I mean, we'll tackle a little bit of that today. I guess I could switch over. So last night, previously on, we were working on ciphers, which is a big deal in the Cypher system, don't you know? So we were working on ciphers. Still got to organize them by name. I think we went through and we got some like good starter ciphers going on here. Probably going to add a few more. Not that it's a small list, but I think I'd like to add some more. We hadn't started on artifacts yet. Not really. I've got some ideas here that were originally like other things, and I kind of want to make them into ciphers, or not ciphers, artifacts. Also, we were talking last night. I haven't gotten anything set up yet, but I'm going to implement like a swear jar type thing on my YouTube and my Twitch. Whatever. Swear like a sailor, say awful things, try to get myself canceled. But on Moonbeam, if I'm streaming on Moonbeam at the same time, I'm trying to be nicer, trying to be a little bit more family friendly. Maybe not family friendly, but I'm trying not to say as many bad things. I mean, I'm going to swear now and again. That's just how it's going to work. But they did ask that we kind of try to keep it like PG-13 if we can. So no excessive amounts. I'm pretty excessive with it sometimes. So I'm going to try to be better. Let's see if that happens. Coffee. All right, so. Oh, I didn't brush my teeth yet this morning. I'm a dirtbag. It feels wrong. Anywho, so the main things that we've got. So like most of this, as you can see, green check marks almost across the board. Green means the main roughs are done. I am working with my minions, as I've now called them, to do the editing on them, which is actually probably one of the things I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through some of the edits that they gave in like yay or nay, make some changes, stuff like that. One of the main things I still have to do is I still have to figure out the last of the foci, which I have ideas for. They're just not done. All the white ones here, these are all the foci that are done. As you can see, Void Home's going to launch with a fair amount of foci right off the bat. Because like, why would you want to buy a core book and have like 6 foci to choose from? That's lame. So I don't want. So we're gonna have more. I'm limiting it to 40 though, because the book, I have to stop somewhere. So I've got the rules for opposition design and stuff like that and basics of running them. It's very, I mean, like, it's not long because it doesn't need to be long. The GM honestly doesn't need that much information. Like half of this is about designing them from scratch. So like, it's such a simple system. You don't need much information. I did codify it a little bit more than it is in regular Cypher. I've got 2 different specific, same thing I did with companions, basically. I've got a couple different like opposition types, and then the basics of how it goes. It spells it all out for you, point by point, and this way you don't have to have any guesswork. Be like, oh, what did they mean by this? Like, when do I apply this? No. You literally just follow this, then this, then this, then this. I know it's Cypher, but I like to lay it out in a bit more of a technical fashion because it's still a game and you still just want the information displayed for you in a way that you can use it. So, I'm a little less narrative when it comes to the actual mechanics and rules. I like to just lay it out in a very methodical, technical manner. That's just the way I do my shit. My, look at this handsome devil and he's talking tabletop. What a great combo. I think you're looking at the wrong stream, but you should be looking at mine instead. Hey, Brax. With the raging Brax. Okay, all right. I've started an opposition list. Ignore the beginning part. That's just the template so I can copy paste it. So I've got some quickie ones here. Why is this got like a whatever? So I've got some quickie ones here for like, you know, quick augmented, desperate thug, a drunk, esotech parasite, stuff like that. I'm watching. Don't you lie to yourself. So I'm gonna make another little like one-shotty adventure to go with the next playtest. I was originally going to do it for every playtest, and then something came up called I was lazy. I have no other explanation than that. That's me. That's all I got. So I'm going to come up with another one for this playtest. Maybe that's something else we can tinker with today. We'll see. See how long I stream. I've already been streaming for 20 minutes. Okay, good stream, everybody. Have a good... No, I'm not ending it yet. Anywho, I got a couple of big ones too. I've got the Siphonophore, which, as you can tell, like I do a lot of like narrative information because if it's going to be a longer stat block, it's more about like what interesting shit is about this creature. Then we get into the actual nitty gritty. Now, Siphonophore is labeled as a level 0 creature, which seems weird. Why would it be level 0? That's not a challenge. You'll have to read to figure out more. Oh no, I'm gonna let you know. All right, so Siphonophore is these are real creatures on Earth, Siphonophores, and they're somewhere in between what we are, which is multicellular life, and hive community life, like a coral. They're kind of in between, where like the individual parts of a Siphonophore are somewhat specialized, but can still kind of survive on their own as well. So they're like somewhat like a specialized cell, but also their own individual animals, and it's like a weird in-between thing. So I'm like, this is a really cool idea. So where the Siphonophore is the whole creature, the individual parts of the Siphonophore are known as the zooids or zoids. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's zooids. I'm gonna go with zooids. Zoids sounds cooler. Whatever, zooids. Is Zaddy. So what I wanted to do, if anyone, way I can explain this, you ever played like Magic the Gathering? And I think they came back at one point, but back in the day, they had a thing called slivers, whereas like each sliver was like a little thing on its own that was kind of shitty, but you put them all together and it's one big thing. That's super awesome. That is what the Siphonophore is going to be like in Voidhome. The Siphonophore itself as a base creature basically does nothing because it's the sum of its parts. That's where you get the zooids. The GM gets to go through and choose which zooids are part of the Siphonophore, and you can choose it multiple times. Like say it's just a bunch of cores, then that means that the Siphonophore is just going to have a shit ton of presence. Or you want a fury one where it can like it can glow red and like get like a little like rage thing, or maybe it's got some good presence to it with sensor. Maybe it's like the shell, you know, make it super defensible. And for each level or for each zooid that you add, it adds one level to the total Siphonophore. Add it all together, and that's how you get your like Build-A-Bear of a nightmarish creature. So that was my idea for one of like the big monsters of Voidhome. I wanted it to be this like customizable, like no two Siphonophores are exactly alike. And this is something we can expand upon in the future. It's something that, because it's going to have an open license, you can expand upon in the future, because I have mentioned before, I've opened it up so anyone can write in Voidhome shit. No sense just keeping it to myself. Commonwealth Cleaner. Got another one here. So these are like the marine military grunts. Think of the like alien, like colonial marines type thing. The like most elite military unit. So this is an example of like a more normalized stat block. Now, the way I do this, because I want people to be able to modify them very easily, is I do a couple of different things. First of all, it is in a completely different order and like the way it's written than Cypher normally does. So I've got catalyst, which is like why they're doing what they're doing, presentation, what they look like, how they are. I'm going to fill these out probably a bit more. Then we get into the nitty gritty of the stats. I use the tags system that Void Home uses. So like half the stuff is just up front in this bar. Like you want to know it's like its presence, its resistance, its speed. It doesn't need to be separate entries. These are just tags that tell you what they do. You'll notice presence, I have a ×5, 25. That's because if you want to create a higher or lower level of a Commonwealth Cleaner, I just let you know that I'm just ×5ing the level to get its presence. So it has 25 presence because it's 5 × 5. I want to do this because sometimes it's kind of obfuscated in Cypher when the points go up and why the points go up and stuff like that. So I'm trying to spell it out as much as possible because I want the GM to have those tools to make it as easy as possible to tinker with. And then instead of like in regular Cypher, a lot of times you get abilities that are kind of all mixed together in like paragraphs, which during gameplay I found really hard to deal with. A lot of times I'll like forget something has an ability because it's in the middle of a narrative paragraph in what the creature can do under like combat. And especially since I really mixed up how combat does and does not work, I just renamed it to capabilities, and I've got them actually like set up in the same way that abilities for players are basically going to be set up. So you can tell that this is an attack. It does an extra 4 impact on the attack, and it has a range of long. And then it's got a little like description, and boom, that's all you need to know for bang. It's got a gun. And then of course, for each one, I'm going to have variants because I don't know. I just like variants. So there'll be Commonwealth Cleaners. There'll be the Crusher, the Sniper, the Tank. Easy enough to create variants. We can expand upon this in the future. Sway examples. Remember in Void Home, I've redone intrusions to be sway because I found intrusions had a lot of almost negative connotations to it, whereas we've always tried to reinforce that GM intrusions don't have to be negative. They can be neutral. They can even be positive. I've done them as positive before, almost as a reward, but it just adds something interesting or dramatic to the scene. So in Void Home, we have renamed intrusions to sway, and so far the feedback on that's been pretty good, pretty positive. So I got a couple examples there, and random conflict behavior. So this is for one of two things. If you are GMing and you don't know what you want the thing to do, roll, and it'll be like, oh, it's going to do something offensive most of the time, but maybe it'll go on guard, on the defensive, or maybe it'll try to reposition itself as possible, or maybe it'll do one of the more rare actions, something like that. Secondly, it is useful if you're playing solo. Now, I don't have like a whole chapter I'm playing solo or anything. I'll probably do like a little mini expansion book for it. Release my own little like solo engine. Or you can use one of the existing ones, which are probably way better than anything I can come up with because I don't play solo. But having random conflict behaviors means you can do solo and you don't have to worry about trying to make the decision about what it's going to do because it's got the thing in it for you. So this is how a normal one is going to look. Siphonophores is the super expanded one, and then I've got a bunch of examples of super mini ones. So that's how I'm going to do those. So definitely need some more opposition. I'm not gonna it's not gonna be like a complete bestiary in the core book. That is what the opposition codex is going to be for. So yeah, Bob's your uncle. Then we're gonna have some adventure shorts, which as you can see, I have not even begun to start. So whatever. And then vehicles. I've got some of the vehicles done already. Like I've only got some of the personal sized vehicles, because in Void Home vehicles are in 4 sizes: personal, craft, ship, and liner. And then I gotta fill them out. So we're getting there. Vehicles, personal sized ones may just be like considered a single object, but some of the larger ones will be like the craft, the ship, or the liner, where they have individual sections. The sections can be crafted, upgraded, broken, and repaired individually instead of the entire thing. These are for the larger variants of it. So that's kind of getting us caught up on what we need to do. I got to get some particular craft figured out. The transport, the Catawampus and the Winchester specifically. Yeah. Yeah, the C-83 transport, the Catawampus, and the Winchester, the 3 I need to make sure are done for the playtest, because I believe those are the only ones we get in the scenarios. I don't think... what did you have? Oh, a festoon. Did I even have that in the list? I did. Okay, so the festoon needs to be in there as well. I thought there might have been one more. So I got to finish those ones, which they'll have certain sections to them as well. No worries. Which we have in... I think it was in stuff and things. Yeah, I've got the explanations for all the craftings and whatnot and stuff and things. And then exploring has the chart for the actual like vehicle stuff, because that's where most of the vehicle rules are. And you can see we got it here. Sweet. So let's get a little useful here for a moment. Let's go to the assistance one. There we go. And it looks like I've got some feedback on a few sections here. So let's go through that, shall we? Oh my gosh, I got 312 feedbacks to go through. Let's do open only and this tab only. Once again, thank you to everybody that has been helping out. I think Crazy Weasel so far has done some of like the heaviest lifting, but multiple people have been helping me out, which has been super nice ever since the little snafu of like that editor taking my money and ghosting me. So that sucked. That sucked hard. But you guys have been awesome. So thank you. Okay. All right. Why did it start me in like the middle of the document? That's interesting. They're not sharing this information. Yeah. See, most of these ones, he's just cleaning my shit up. A lot of these little ones I barely look at just because I'm like, yeah, okay, that's better wording. Had grown, grew, yeah. Still only very recently. Just get rid of it, he says. Yeah, that makes sense. Rest of humanity grew xenophobic. in isolation. Yeah, he's just having me axe all the words, and he's fucking right. See, swore again. I'm sorry. He is bloody right. But Pangs rather than, which is separate thought, part of it. Okay. Ing harvesting to okay, because he got rid of 2 to start harvesting the trees. Got it. Okay. And in who? Like Crazy Weasel, if you're here, you're on point with a lot of this. There's been very few that I've been like, I'm gonna change that or no. Group of Mennonites who the original settlers of Ephet were a group of Mennonites who decided early that is what I want, yeah. The settlers get rid of the although. Recent generations, the settlers have managed to start harvesting the trees, allowing them to craft buildings much faster than the original squat stone foundations. The settlers are... I don't know. I still might want to keep the although the settlers were still unsure of the... Because this is a separate continuance, I think I'm going to keep that one. It has disappeared on me. There we go. I think I'm going to keep the although it should have a although it should have that. So although or however is probably actually better. Thanks, Google. However, the settlers are still unsure of the trees since their leaves have muted to deep reds and pinks rather than the expected green. I'm going to keep it like that one. I'm going to keep it like that one. Why did it bring me to the bottom? The editing thing is like really weird sometimes. Only flora and fauna on the world plates are what the initial settlers brought with them. Makes sense. Because it really is the same thought. Sentence fragment. Temperatures range from 20 C during the coldest times under the light of the red dwarf to 45 C in the warmest summer periods. The soil is lifeless and barren red rocky material, blah, blah, blah. This is part of the same sentence. He is correct. Soil is lifeless and barren red rocky material, which would allow only some of the toughest plants left to take root. The settlers have slowly started to change small plots into more fertile dirt with time. No! Is that really not? Because it's a separate thought, but part of the same paragraph, because it's part of the same theme. The soil is lifeless and barren, red rocky material. Is a lifeless and barren red rocky material, which would only allow some of the toughest of plant life to take root. I don't need in. Please? Thank you. Wow, that was laggy as shit. Although the settlers have started to change small plots into... or... have started to slowly started to change small plots into more fertile dirt with time. I feel like that's okay. I'll wipe that out for now. I feel like that's okay. Well, although the settlers have started to change small plots into more fertile land with time. I'm going to accept that. I think that's actually okay. Torn on that one. They're not sharing Yeah, add that. Delete they. They are not sharing this information, and yeah, I don't need they. A bug I'm noticing is that when I pause the stream and switch to a different tab, the stream unpauses itself automatically. I have the same thing with the preview. I keep pausing the preview because I'm going to make a note of that. I keep pausing the preview because I don't need a billion previews running in the background. Like I did, like I've got for moderation purposes, I have like YouTube and Twitch and everything open in the background, and I got the previews stopped so that I'm not streaming myself to myself like 4 or 5 times. It does seem to be so. Unpausing stream. It's unpausing it here as well, which is kind of annoying. I want it to not do that. Chat info not updating is another one for Moonstream, Moonbeam. Anyone in the other ones wondering what I'm talking about? Sir James on Moonbeam just said about the bug noticing that the stream keeps unpausing itself, which I have had that issue. Also, people have mentioned that the stream occasionally rewinds. So I'll keep a note of this, and we'll give a little heads up if we notice any more bugs or anything. Thanks, Sir James. Oh, this is a big change. What is he doing here? Replace doing what needs to be done for survival with just surviving. Humanity has barely explored a fraction of the Aura system. Even with the furrow drives, people are so focused on just... He wants to just trim it to surviving? Yeah, you know what? Less words. It's actually not a bad idea. Not as purple prose, but it's not a beauty. It's not a bad idea. So he split this. Despite this, human beings are naturally curious and have managed to spread out beyond Fall Point, albeit slowly and with great struggle. Okay. Should that be a semicolon? My English skills, they're not great. I wonder if that should be a semicolon. That is out of place. This is, I think, a leftover sentence from when I rearranged some things. That doesn't even need to exist anymore. I can also combine this into a bigger paragraph instead of like single sentence paragraph. And then this one talks about the cater system, so that does remain separate. All right, that's pretty good. Add space. Maybe with areas include. Okay, that is actually much better wording. Damn, Crazy Weasel, you're on fucking point. I don't really know how semicolons work. I'm never sure, but sometimes I put them to seem smart. Sir James. Sentence fragment. If the area is known for certain items, resources, or materials, it will be listed here. Also, if there are any notable things for trade. Oh yeah, okay, that is also here, but also listed here. Please do the thing. Wow, that was some like weird lag in adjusting this thing. Also listed here are any any notable things for trade by locals, businesses, or organizations. Okay, cool. Semicolons are easy. Semicolons are easy. Semicolon poorly documented. Semicolon meant to confuse. Semicolon cause behind. Fuck's sakes. I'm trying my best not to swear, and I suck at it. They said they said I could swear a little bit. I'm just trying not to do it every like second word, because I'm bad at it. I was raised with it. This T with this section details. Oh, I see. This section details the major. That's a good ad. That's a good ad. Right? No, on Twitch and YouTube, swear all day, every day. I don't care. I don't care. But since I am streaming on, for the Moonbeam one, since I am streaming on Monica Games channel, I'm trying to be nice. Oh yeah, it's not the Twitch or YouTube I'm worried about. I will swear, and it's not even the first 10. I thought it was like the first 11 seconds, as long as you don't say something bad. It's the Moonbeam thing, because I'm technically streaming on Monica Games at the Anywhere Door channel. So like, trying to represent and be nice, and they asked us to keep it like PG-13. So forget how many swear words you're allowed to say in like a PG-13. But I'm trying to clean it up a little bit for those times when I'm just going to be streaming on Twitch and YouTube and it's just my channels. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say the worst things. I'm gonna be like Jimmy Carr level, let's get me like canceled. But on Monica Games, like when I'm also streaming on Moonbeam, like I am right now, because I'm streaming in all 3 locations, I'm going to be a little bit cleaner. Just try a little bit, just a little bit. It's like I do have respect though for what they're doing. Plus, you know, they're going to be handing in a couple of bucks for the Canuck. So, do I need to head over to Moonbeam right now? You know what? Come on over to Moonbeam. Did I remember the thing? Okay, there's the link for my link tree. Moonbeam is, I think, like the 3rd or 4th link down. It's the Anywhere Door that Monica Games has. You can sign up. It's a new streaming service. It just launched like last night at like 8 p.m. Eastern time. Is it going to blow up and be awesome? Or is it going to be another Mixer or Arena? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I do like some of the concepts they've got going on, that it's not just another Twitch. Like that was Mixer's big mistake. They basically were just like, let's copy Twitch. There's no way this is going to fail. And then it failed. This seems to be actually trying to do something a little bit new with a lot of little nice quality of life stuff, as well as the fact that it's almost like a mixture between a social platform like Discord and then a streaming platform like Twitch. So it seems pretty cool. We'll see if it takes off and goes anywhere, but it seems pretty cool. I like, one of my little things I noticed last night when I did the first like public one is I thought it was, I'm OBG here. Oh, hey, Zolas. Was that whenever I get a chat in, it, even ignoring the text of the chat, the AI try to gives me a tag to say what the chat is. Like that one was confident, and then one of them was confusing, and then there was positive and neutral, ambiguous, happy. So like it gives me like a feeling for what the chat I just got was like, that's interesting. I thought that was kind of neat. There's a lot of things it needs. Like I did wish I had like channel points and stuff like that. They're getting there. The fact that they got monetization crammed in before they launched was a big deal. So that's pretty cool. It's neat. I can see creating communities and being able to like more easily stream under those created communities. First time I heard of this, don't know what to feel about it yet. I'm still digesting myself. I'm still figuring it out. Like, for example, like Count, if you're still around here, imagine if like the Friendos had like our own like Moonbeam community where just like whenever one of the Friendos was streaming, it just appears on the Friendos channel. And so you only ever have to go to the Friendos channel to see which one of us is like on and streaming and doing our own thing. I think that would be a pretty neat idea, to be perfectly honest. So, I don't know. It's worth a try. One of the main things, of course, I'm looking for is getting them integrated with Restream because I'm using Restream to stream to all 3 platforms so that, you know, I can free up my internet for other shit. So as of right now, Restream, one of the big benefits for me also is the fact that it collates all of the chats into one chat. But Moonbeam, as you guys noticed, is not in this chat. When someone's chatting on Moonbeam, you guys are not hearing it or seeing it on there. So that is one of the things I'm really hoping to see relatively soon is going to be integration with Restream, like working with Restream to try and get them in there. I don't know what possible corporate nightmare it is to get in with Restream. They have a lot on there already, so I can't see it being too bad. I imagine they've already got some sort of API thing in the works, so it's got to be a thing that they can do. So I'm hoping it's something they can figure out. All right, what size of island? These hexagonal metallic plates range in something akin to a... I'm going to say a large island. I'm not going to put an exact... I'm not going to put an exact measurement. Oh, maybe I could. Large island. Yeah, I am going to put an exact measurement because I have put it elsewhere, haven't I? Haven't I? Good point. I'm not even going to answer. I'm just going to accept it. Eat it and move on because he's right. Are you using Google Docs? I am using Google Docs. Yeah. The only mod I have is just to turn it dark mode. The icons and everything for like this is the master for Void Home to show like what I've completed and stuff. This is how I do my organization. So the way I usually do it is in the rough document, X means I have written next to nothing and still need a lot more writing to do. Blue means it's like partially completed, and green check means the writing is basically done. It just needs to go into editing now. And in the editing document, green means I'm happy with it. I think we're done. I don't think it needs more editing. Blue means that we've done some passes, we've done some work on it. I just want to do another check to make sure if there's anything else to catch. And then X means that we haven't really fully tackled it yet, and we're working on it. Which is what I'm doing right now. I'm also a backer of the CS version of Hidden the Dragonflower. Have heard you were doing good things with that. Got any updates? Yes. Actually, part of this stream is probably going to be working on Hymn of the Dragonflower. All right. So many questions. Hold up. OBG or Zolas or whatever you want to be called. You asked about Hymn of the Dragonflower first. Okay, let's go into chat. Okay, Hymn of the Dragonflower. Actually, you know what? Mr. Trask is good with me streaming it. So let me show you a bit of what I'm doing. Quick side note. We'll come back to Void Home. I'm just going to go show a bit of what I'm doing for Hymn of the Dragonflower as well. Why not? Right? There we go. Okay. So, as you see, Hymn of the Dragonflower still needs some work. I've got a lot of areas that, I've got some green check marks done, but some of it isn't. So, Mr. Trask is a good guy. He's a good guy in so many ways. But Mr. T, if you're watching, I think you flubbed the marketing a little bit. He was all like, "Oh, this is just a 5e conversion." No, it is not a 5e conversion. I know a lot of Cypher players were uninterested as soon as they heard those words. That is not what I'm doing here. I promise you, that is not what I'm doing here. I'm taking the story, it's got a pretty cool story to it. It's got a little bit of a twist, which I won't say. It's got some cool stuff to it. I like it, but I'm not doing. Oh, God damn it! 1 second. I gotta deal with moderation. Twitch moderation. forgot to bring up the thing to actually like moderate my bloody channel. And all my usual guys that moderate for me are not here. What if I want best viewers? That's true. Damn it, I shouldn't have blocked them. I should have followed that link. I'm assuming he posted a link. All right. Let's get back into this. Stupid spammers. All right. So, what was I doing? Oh, yes. It is not a normal format for a traditional adventure. Because Cypher system doesn't, at least the way I run it, and the way a lot of people I think run it, don't run it in that manner. They run it in a more narrative, looser manner, instead of just being like a railroaded, like this part, then this part, then this part, then this part. I don't think that's how we want to run it. So I'm doing this in what's called the story beat format. It'll have like a flow chart thing in the beginning to be like, you know, these are like key story beats. These are like optional story beats and stuff like that. But the way it works is the adventure itself is split up into primary story beats, which are the Lords of the Mountain, the 1,000 Steps, blah, 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 and then the wrap up. And then each story beat has multiple scenes within the story beat. Some of the scenes are required, but there's a lot of scenes that are optional as well. And within the story beat format, so for example, Lords of the Lords of the Mountain, let's go there because I've got this one partially done. So we start out with the overall story beat for Lords of the Mountain. This is the beginning. This is where your hook is, where you get the primary goal for the story beat. There are some events. These can happen anywhere within the story beat, any of the scenes. Doesn't matter which scene, these events can happen. It's got some information. And then we have our first scene, which is meeting the bard. And in the scene, I've got the description of the scene, more GM information, scene aspects. You'll notice I don't have read aloud text. I know some of you are probably not going to like this choice, and some of you are okay with this choice. I don't like read aloud text because it never sounds organic. It always sounds like you have entered the musty and dangerous looking room. It is chilly with many pairs of eyes peering at you from the darkness. Like that no one, it's never read properly. And I think for newer GMs, it's unneeded training wheels. I think it's a crutch that teaches them bad habits, because instead of teaching them to just speak, instead of teaching them to learn to make descriptions on the fly, it just teaches them to read, and then they don't learn how to improv. They don't learn how to be like, flowing into the room. The chilly air makes you on edge. You can smell the decay and rot. Like, you don't think of being able to do those things, like if you've got something to just read. You don't learn how to do it. So instead, I've got scene aspects. So these are the type of thing where some of them may be flagged as secret. In this particular case, there aren't. So in these ones, you can show to the player. But basically, they're things for the players and the GMs to riff off of. Especially if you've got things like, say you roll a nat 20 in Cypher and you get a major effect. Or you want to do a player or GM intrusion. These are things, just aspects of the scene that you can riff off of. So like there's a bar, the local weather is doing this, there's musical notes in the air. Where are the Cheetos? I haven't heard that sketch in a while. So the scene aspects, I think, is more important than an actual like written description, because it gets a bunch of things that the players and GM can both improv off of, but also the GM can take these before even presenting them to the players and kind of like take the notes. I'm going to like bold certain keywords in these so the GM can like quickly scan through them and create their own description based off of what parts are in the scene, what aspects are in the scene. I want to promote that as a good habit. Then there are events that can happen within the scene. And notice I don't have the events. They're not in a certain order. I do have one that is starred as being like must use. What the hell are they doing out there? But they're not going to be in a certain order because this isn't like a D&D thing where like you go to room 1 and then you go to room 2 and then you go to room 3. It's not like that. It is going to be in whatever order the GM decides. Is like there's just certain beats and certain events you might want to trigger. The point of the adventure is to give you those tools, but unlike a D&D 5e adventure, it's not a preset kit that you have to build a certain way. It's just a bunch of really cool looking blocks that you can build in your own manner. Then each scene will have its awards and then areas of interest. For instance, this one has 2 main areas of interest that they can explore with the open road and the village. And then I might have like a rough like picture map thing, like no squares, no measurements, no nothing like that, just to give you a general idea where the areas of interest might be with each other. But that is how I am doing the adventure, basically. I want to open it up. I don't want it to be as strict and defined of a like a railroad that a lot of 5e adventures are. And I'm not against being a bit railroady, but I have said multiple times that the Happy Fun slide is better than the railroad. Stole that one from Brennan. You still have a guided path. You still have a guided plot, but it meanders and it twists, and sometimes maybe it splits and then reintegrates, and it's still a guided plot, but it seems chaotic and reckless. It seems improved, which is how I think an adventure should be done. I've got a few other things as well. System dials. I've got things in here for like suggested for source books and settings. I try to stick to either third-party supplements I know are going to work, but also obviously like Monty Cook Games stuff, especially things that are part of the SRD, because then you've got access to it. Just go to like Old Gus's SRD. Some tips of advice, if you want to use like non-fantasy or fantasy stuff and mixing them together. I give an example of Ware's power armor could easily just be Ware's magical armor. You know, little tips. More attack the darkness. I give some optional rules you might want to consider, including clarifying group intrusions a little bit. And then I ripped this over from Void Home. So one of the Void Home rules I created, I'm actually putting in here for expanded conditions and injuries, because it's a fairly simple system, and I think it'll work well for some of the things. Like I have here, like a condition for twisted ankle because they slipped on some black ice, or poisoned because of this green snow. So I thought that would be a cool thing to have in there. Then of course I've got all the other bits and synopsis, and we're going to have all the new stuff, which I'm not going to show off yet because we're still working on it. And also I'm still waiting for a list from Mr. Trask for half the stuff I have to make yet. So we're going to get there. But this is where we are on Hymn of the Dragonflower so far. It's going pretty good, actually. But the main thing is the formatting, this story beat format. I'm still refining it a little as I go, but I think this is the format I want to do, like going forward for a lot of adventures, actually. Unless it's just a short, in which case you don't need this much. But if it's actually like a full length adventure, something like this story beat format with the individual scenes and like a flow map, I think that's the way to go for a narrative game. That green snow effect lingered for a few game sessions in the playtest. Yeah, I think I've got it. Well, with the green snow, because I've got it in the story beat, it can happen over in multiple scenes, because there's like 3 scenes possible within this first story beat. So it could happen within multiple scenes. And then the green snow is probably one of the things that'll carry over as a possible effect for some of the other ones too, such as, well, basically all of them. Yeah, that's the type of thing. And it's an injury, so conditioned poisoned injury, which means it can take a hot second for it to go away. Like the effects are gonna stick. They won't go around away at just like the end of the scene. Like you gotta get better at it over a little bit. Yeah. So that's where I am on him and the Dragonflower. Now, I believe, this is Voidhome. What's the lore of the setting for Voidhome? All right. Let's go back to Voidhome. Let's go to the master document. So, brief history. So let me TLDR this best I can. In 1978, something happened, and I give some hints, some ideas. I don't get concrete with a lot of this stuff because I want the GM to be able to make it their own a little bit. But something happened that tore a chunk out of the earth somewhere around the Yellow Sea in 1978. And they discover that there's this triangular gate thing that sort of did this, moving away from the earth. This sends the earth into this apocalyptic death spiral where, I mean, the earth is ending. We need to survive somehow. This is because this happens in 1978. This is also the reason that, except for certain technologies like spacecraft and survival technologies, every other technology stagnates. Because I wanted to have that like original Alien vibe for technology. So like the clunky buttons, the CRT screens, no like super fancy technology or anything. But it's even more grounded than Alien because it is more of a harder sci-fi. So no artificial gravity or anything either. It's more like, what if The Expanse and Alien together type of thing. But basically, yeah, large chunk taken out of the earth. World is ending. They realize that this triangular gateway that screwed the earth up is a gateway to somewhere with gravity and oxygen and somewhere that maybe people could survive. They realize our solar system's now getting all screwed up. So, okay, let's send a ship there and see what happens. So they quickly slap together a ship as best as they can, and send it through the gate. Never hear back from them except for, it seems clear everything is good, is like basically the last thing that they get from them. It takes them a long time, but they do manage to make another ship. Other ships are partially completed, but unfortunately only one other ship was completed by the time the Earth sort of collapsed. So only, to your knowledge, and I'm not going to spoil it, but Zeus Legion is already working on an adventure / expansion for Voidhome that deals with this, so I'm not going to get into it too much. I love that there's already third-party content for my third-party content. But they send the other ship. The ship goes through after traveling for a year and hearing the dying screams of Earth, blah, blah, blah. It is a survival horror sci-fi. It gets pretty intense sometimes. They get through the gate only to find out that something's off. They didn't realize it, but time's been moving differently on the other side of the gate. In the time since the original ship, the Shepherd, went through and crashed, many generations have gone by. And these people have been stuck in this artificial system of some kind for generations and generations, slowly trying to work their way through it and explore. The new ship, the Sunstrider, gets through, and that's where the book picks up, is just as the Sunstrider is coming through, and all that's happened is a real quick communication, which is surrender now, because these people barely even remember Earth. The system that they're in it's got a central thing. You're not sure if it's a singularity or something else, because it's a dark void, but it's fuzzy and it doesn't act quite like a black hole. It's not bending light so much as just absorbing. It's kind of weird. You don't know what it is. I give a couple of examples what it could be. Cool. Beyond that is a cloud of hexagonal, like continent-sized world plates. This is where most of the exploration could take place in the setting. It gives you, and there's a whole generation system for making these world plates if you don't want to come up with them on your own. So you can either go via spaceships or there's interconnected with what's called the tri-gates. So if you want to pull like a sliders situation, just like hop from world plate to world plate exploring, you could do that. Once again, you can randomly generate these suckers with an entire thing that I've made. And then there's an asteroid belt. There are a couple of worlds. One of the main things though is that the entire system is pretty resource scarce. Humanity is struggling to get by, and they're not the first ones to have visited this ancient and falling apart artificial system. There are others. There are other things out there. So it's got that. But meanwhile, people are stuck. I mean, you look at the cover. Let me turn this inverse off for a second. So you look at the cover, like, these are the type of spacesuits people are wearing. It's like a pretty standard looking spacesuit. Like, it's nothing super sci-fi. You're not getting like, unless you've stolen it from some ancient alien tech, you don't have like a fancy laser gun. You probably have like a basic rifle or revolver or something. Most technology is stuck in like early 80s at best. So that's kind of the skinny of what we got for Void Home here. It is the Cypher system, but I have modified some things. If you want to know more information, you can go to my channel. My latest video actually is describing some of the perks of what I've changed and why I've changed it, and it's probably worth a watch. It wasn't a long video. I think it was like 15 minutes. Feel free to check that out. It'll let you know a little bit more about it. But basically, I've changed things up. There's no longer an initiative system. There's no longer even damage and health for like NPCs and stuff. Everything is impact and presence. Basically because you can impact the presence of both an NPC and a situation with more than just combat. I want your players, I want your actors, your characters to be able to be anything. Because if you look at Alien or Event Horizon, they weren't like big tough military people. They didn't have combat skills. They were just people trying to survive. I want characters to be able to do that without having to think that there's got to be a combat side to them. Is third-party content for third-party content still compared to third-party content, or is it like fifth-party content or sixth-party content, ninth-party content? I mean, third-party content, I mean, it might just be fourth-party content. I don't know. One thing I flip-flop a bit on, because the last playtest I think had it as the primary resolution mechanic. This one has it as just an option. But one of the ones I was doing, optional rules, Cypher 6. Originally, I was going to use this as the primary resolution mechanic, but I went back to the normal Cypher one because I know the crowd that I'm selling to. But I have another resolution mechanic for Cypher that just uses D6s. 1d6 for the action roll and 1d6 for the fate roll. The fate determines your special effects, like if you roll like a sway event or if you roll like a major effect or something like that. And then the action roll is if you succeed or not. And it's, 1 to 6, which would be like, basically you don't have to do this step where you have to convert by 3 to get the target number and difficulty. And this also puts the modifiers onto the die roll rather than moving the goalpost. A lot of people really liked it, but I was reluctant to put it as the primary because I also realize that it's new and people aren't always good with change. I personally really like it, and I'm probably going to use it for my games. One, because it decouples the effects with your success, which I thought was really cool. You could fail and still get a major effect, or you could succeed and still have the GM have a sway on you. I thought that was really neat. Also, things like the modifiers being on the die roll makes players coming from other systems a lot more comfortable rather than having to have that full conversation every time where the GM has to move the goalpost around before you can roll. there's a lot of benefits, I think, to it. Not everyone's going to want to use it, but it's in the book. It'll also be in Paradigm Shift that I'm working on with Old Gus and Alpha Dean. So it's going to be in Void Home, but it's also going to be available freely within Paradigm Shift once ever that launches. That could be a while. But I just like it being decoupled, and there's a lot of like cool little bits to it, like the action dice. You could have another like effort thing where you're adding extra dice and choosing one of them. Or someone just mentioned yesterday in one of the Void Home channels that it makes things like horror mode a little more intense, because instead of moving it up by one at a time, you're technically would be the equivalent of moving it up by 3 in normal Cypher. So it makes it a little crazier, a little more intense. Not that I'm using horror mode much in this because I've got the new Dread rules, which if you're interested, I mean, check out the book. All right, let's go back to the editing. Now that we've gotten... So I get sidetracked a lot when I stream. It happens. Did I bring another drink? I did. Oh, yeah. Stay hydrated. All right. Where was I? Yeah, I don't need the however. You're correct. Man, he's so good at this. But I think he said he was a teacher, or is a teacher. I don't know. Are the gravity cylinders large enough to flow over, or would it drift into the cloud of atmosphere on the world plates? Where does the water go? Whoops. Oh, where'd it go? This described in the basics of how world plates work. It off and then drifts off, which is why there is a small cloud in the world plate zone that forces ships to go slower due to wear and tear with the small amount of matter. Okay, save. Yes. Strange how the audio and visual for YouTube and Moonbeam are out of sync. I think Moonbeam is a few seconds ahead of YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's even, I think, a little... hello, Pika Lucario TV. YouTube, I think, is a bit behind both Twitch and Moonbeam. I think Twitch is also a bit faster. YouTube takes like a second. I've got it on like slightly faster processing, but YouTube takes a second. I haven't done a dye in my beard in a while, eh? Maybe I should do some like pretty colors on it again. I used to like color it like every stream, and then that thing happened again. What was it called? I was lazy. That's what it was. This Moonbeam is great. I'm new here yesterday. Yeah. It's neat so far. I'm hoping it picks up. I'm hoping it sticks around. So far it's been pretty neat. The fact that it's been out for like not even 24 hours, like I don't even know if it's been out for 12 hours. Yeah, I guess it has been. I guess it has been like 16 hours. But it's so far it's pretty good. So far for being an initial launch of a new platform, I'm pretty impressed. Because I remember when Arena was launching, they were missing so much when they first launched. All they really had was like the fact that you had a place to stream. I couldn't even reset my password there at first. These guys made sure that their platform was a little more workable before they actually launched it. Yeah, same, cautiously optimistic. Like once again, like I tried out Mixer. I tried out Arena. I tried out a bunch of those as they launched. Like, I never stopped streaming to the major platforms, but I tried them out, and I'm like, hey, this is cool, and then they vanish. So, cautiously optimistic. I will promote it because I'm on it, and I think it's got some neat benefits to it. So I'm hoping it goes somewhere, but we'll see. We'll see. Delete via Tri-Gate exploration. These structures, if they do, remain shrouded in mystery. What? It tells us that it's accessed by Tri-Gate. What's she talking about, Willis? Oh, it was up there. Not a change. I adore this line. That is until the death start. Okay, thank you. Deleting. Many of them sport evolutionary. Yeah, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Tear through. Yeah, you're right there too. Oh, I see. He just moved it over. Plates, armored. Plates of the most. I see. He's moving that out to front load that bit as well. So we'll accept the next few of them. Any inspiration from Ringworld? Well, sort of the concept of it, right? Like it's a, actually, I guess the world plates are more inspired by a Dyson swarm rather than Ringworld itself. Which if you know what a Dyson sphere is, then you know what a Dyson swarm is. And although it's not around a star, it's around whatever the black fuzzy thing in the center of the system is. Originally I was like, okay, a bunch of plates floating around it. And I'm like, well, what if these plates were like little tiny worlds of their own? I'm like, and then I'm like, you can go either ship, albeit slower, because there's a very, very, very slight, atmosphere there. Not enough that a human could survive in it, but enough that it screws up a ship if you go too fast. And there's the gates, which are very, very difficult to travel to between them. And then, I make a whole generation system so that players or GMs can tinker with it. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got infinite worlds here in this one system. Let's go. Because a densely packed floating armada of these world plates is still far enough of the way that even with the naked eye, all you'd see of the other world plates is like maybe some twinkling in the sky, or like a line of like mist. That's actually the world plates, but you wouldn't, except for in very rare cases, you wouldn't see another world plate be actually appreciably big in the sky because space is big. And I have the world plates, I think 2 AU away from the center of the system. So the world plate ring is twice as far from the little black center of the system than Earth is from the sun. It's a big orbit. So you can have a lot of world plates in that band. I want to be in a band. Delete of. Yeah, that makes sense. Heavily armored vehicles because of the other thing that you said. Right. Okay, all right. We'll get rid of that one. A handful of intriguing accounts. Okay, he's kind of moving it to front loaded again, where I was kept back loading it. I think that makes sense. One of the things I am doing in Void Home as well is there's so I went to school initially, post-secondary school, for engineering. I'm also halfway through a master's in physics. So I like science. I wanted to make a hard sci-fi, but I also know traveler exists, And not everyone wants to play that. Not everyone wants to get into the nitty gritty, like calculating out the fucking Hohmann transfer between two interplanetary bodies or something. Which I get. Not everyone is like wanting to Kerbal Space Program an RPG. But I wanted the feeling that you were. So I throw some terms in and I make it feel like a hard sci-fi while still playing like a more narrative Cypher system. So I have little like science boxes here and there, sort of like describing like, what delta V is, or a Hohmann transfer, or, the gravity, 9.8 meters per second squared, and like little things. There's side notes. You don't need them for the game. You can ignore them if it goes over your head. But I add them because if you want to throw them in just to make it feel more hard sci-fi-y, you can. There's a few things that I kind of touched upon in the rules, like due to the fact that, once again, there's no artificial gravity or anything. Like the only gravity you feel for the most part is when your ship is accelerating or decelerating. Now, the world plates have artificial gravity. Sometimes the alien stuff will have artificial gravity. Humans, however, not figured it out. Humans are the basic biatches. Yeah, it's simple to run. I wouldn't call Cypher system a light system. It's not. But it is an easy to run system. Remove although, however, that is a thing I should be doing. Yes. Almost says exact sentences in the end of the complication sections. You want it repeated. A formidable barrier to even most seasoned adventurers. He is right. I'm just going to remove that. Universally, I'm repelled by Invisible Sun, too crunchy for me. Okay, I've got the box, and I've opened the box, and I am thoroughly confused. I want to try it, but it's one of those days where it's like, I'm going to have to sit down with just the right people to try it. Because that is, most of my players are going to look at that and be like, oh, hell nah. I'll play a little bit of anything. I don't mind some crunch sometimes. Once again, the engineer in me comes out. But most of the time, you've only got like a couple of hours that week to play, assuming you got everyone together, assuming everyone didn't cancel anyways. So, like, I don't have to be like finagling the rules. I just want to go in, chuck some dice, have some fun, get in and get out. So sometimes I don't have time for that crunch. I'm an adult, theoretically, physically at least. I got shit to do. So yeah, there are plenty of times I just want a simpler, I just want an easier to run system. Replace, this is particularly significant. Borea place, oh yeah, okay, instead of just, that makes sense. That makes sense. Don't need the yet. If I play it, I can't be the GM. I'll only play with a GM who understands the system already. I read the key and no. I'm interested to run it, but I don't mind exploring when I do have the time. It's really well put together. I mean, it is the epitome of like a prestigious, like well-made set of some kind for an RPG. But it's a lot. It is a lot. The aim of Stanley. So he just says get rid of it. Quite numerous attempts to extract these much coveted resources or to establish some sort of semi-permanent presence. Oh, that is a good section to kill. What the fuck was I even thinking when I wrote that? to achieve these goals. This is why you can't edit your own shit. I look at this stuff and I'm like, oh my God, why did I write it like that? Oh. Very large with immense. Oh, look at him being fancy with words. Never use a small word or never use a large word when a diminutive one would suffice. Replace is with E. Gravity of this. The gravity of this immense world. Oh, okay. And then that we would have to get rid of this section then. Okay. I get it. Earth once had. I get it. The once makes sense. Lush forests or jungles. Get rid of the ore. Many times have I gone back over a resume, I only see mistakes that I didn't notice the first 10 times looking at it. Yeah, that's why you got to get someone else willing to look at it critically. I thought I had someone. I paid someone for it, and then they disappeared. Which is super great, because it's not like I got a lot of money. I really, really don't. Once you move away from or with beyond, majority of the world plate beyond the bare metal center. Oh, wow. He just like chewed away 5 words into one. Yeah. You're a god. Hallucinogenic pollen. That is, get rid of that is. Plant life releases a hallucinogenic pollen so fine it can, oh yeah. I don't need that is. He's right. God damn it, he's right. Intelligence. Oh, he did other. Who or what made the distant spire-like structure? Whether they were made by a different intelligence other than that of the Horus. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Oh my God, I still have over 100 things. How many does he have? How badly did I do? It's one thing to see. What's the neat thing is like I've done this process for other people. Because if you haven't written it, for some reason, being the editor is so much easier. I have gone through, like I had Dean, Alpha Dean, in our shared thing. The old Gus and I like help him with bouncing ideas off and stuff like that. Actually, Crazy Weasel's in there now too. I went through and it wasn't even that long of a page, and I had like 78 like notes on just like these like so many paragraphs, just ripped it apart. But it's because I didn't write it, right? Like if you don't write it, it's just you can edit so much easier. And I've done editing for, who did I do editing for recently? Zeal Zaddy, I think I did one recently. I think I've just recently done layout for Underground Oracle. Didn't do any editing for them, I don't think. The Mechnomicon, I did some editing for them as well, on top of the layout. Yeah, well, it's so much easier to edit when it's not your own shit. A lot of with many, yeah. Well known dash, right. Get rid of the comma, right? Less ego attachment if you didn't write it. If you wrote it, you want to take pride in your work. Yeah. I try my best not to get married to my work. Like in Void Home, I have rewritten and completely replaced chunks of the system, like from the ground up several times. All like there's been 1 or 2 cases where I've worked in an entire subsystem when, you know what? No. And then just cut it. It's like, I think that's a mistake a lot of like newer designers make. Like this is my first big solo project, but I've worked on teams before. I have worked on other stuff. I've normally as a layout, sometimes I've helped as editor. I was never, and I've written bits as well. I was never lead writer on a solo project like this. But I think I've seen a lot of newer people doing this they have a hard time not getting married to their concepts, to their work. It's like you got to learn that sometimes, as cool of an idea as it was, maybe it even works, but not for that project, or maybe it doesn't work, and you got to be like willing to be like, okay, I'm going to axe it. Don't get married to your work. Makes sense. Put that there. It's world plates. Replace with a semicolon. Here, I need to discover world plates. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. I really wish the chat was showing up from Moonbeam in here. Oh, hey, thank you for the 200 moonstones. I don't know how much that's worth. I don't even know, like, or how it's set up. I don't know how that works here. I only did like 1 or 2 test streams before the beta went open. 2 USD. Oh, sweet. 2 USD. That's like 30 bucks Canadian. No, I'm just kidding. We're not that bad off. One moonstone equals 1 US penny. Oh. But S with gangs and syndicates with a might make smart attitude. Oh, I see. He's moving once again. He's moving it. Oh no. So this one, yeah. Once again, he's moving it from being backloaded to front loaded. Yeah, that makes sense. And then he removes this. Right. The city, and then, which of course modifies this as well. Right. Sections with portions or repetitive sections. That makes sense. Don't use the same word over and over again. Oh, and then he splits the sentence. City itself is made of those who seek. That makes sense. Should this be part of the previous paragraph since it's still talking about population? So the roleplay is covered in such a chaotic mess. Yes, it should. But that means that this probably shouldn't be. Those who see they're playing small because of the profitable attitude. The rest of the... Okay, and then this should actually be separated and then combined with this one. I gotta admit, it's an interesting feeling doing this live on stream, because like you don't see this get done very often, and you're seeing it more and more. Like my buddy Taryn obviously did it with Vagabond, and you're seeing Dungeon Coach doing it with DC20, which I'm not supporting for a couple of reasons. But you don't see a lot of people like showing the entire process on stream. I think a lot of people like Al was saying he was having a hard time with it because he feels like he's showing everyone his mistakes, which is correct. I am showing everyone my mistakes because people, they see these books pumped out that like even the ones by MCG that they look great. They look perfect. Like, wow, how did the writer just sit down and just write this awesome book? Not seeing the mistakes they made. Not seeing the editing process that they had to go through, not seeing all of like the revisions and rewritings. They just think that the writer sat down, wrote gold, and walked away, which is not how it works. And I kind of like the fact that I'm streaming it and you guys are seeing me screw up and being awful. when I need to be. Was pain, now it's gone. A new path gets laid, and you know what is great? Nothing stays the same. Oh, song lyrics. What? Oh, it was up there. I thought it was down here. Place P with P. That makes sense because he just split the sentence. DC20 fell off the map for me. I heard a lot of buzz about it being in the unofficial D&D 6e or D&D killer, and then nothing. What happened? Okay, so I don't know how much I should get into this. I'm just going to touch on it. I don't want to get too deep into it. There are parts of it that seem pretty cool, and I know it's getting a lot of buzz from people. But here's the thing. Just go to his website store. Not anything to do about DC20 in detail, but go to his store for his other products and look at the content for me and tell me how much of it is AI generated. I'm not saying there's AI generated stuff in DC20. He's got enough funding, he shouldn't have to. But he is a supporter of stuff not made by human beings. A good chunk, probably a majority chunk of the things on his individual web store had AI generated content in it. Mostly art, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I have mentioned it before, but nothing has gotten changed because they still sell. I'm not about that. I won't support that. If he had fixed it, if he had removed that content and said, no, we are going with human made from this point on. And in Void Home, I'm even going to have like that human made logo and stuff, like to show that I'm supporting that. If he had gone that route, I might have looked harder at DC20. I'm actually on like the private mailing list. Like I'm getting a copy of like the playtest books and stuff before the regular public. Like I'm on the YouTubers mailing list for it. I could be covering it. I could actually probably get a ton of views off of it. But I don't care about that shit. But two, I can't support him as long as he's basically pro AI, generative AI content. I have a whole thing about AI, like a rant. I'm not against AI. I think AI is a technology we could be embracing in the right way. I'm against generative AI being used in certain situations. I'm against the way generative AI is being trained, and I'm against a lot of the downfalls of generative AI. But AI tools, you can't lump it all together. That's a very complicated topic. You can't just be like, I hate AI. No, you don't. You've been using AI way longer than it's been a buzzword, and you just haven't realized. But I don't like generative AI in creative fields. Is my thing. And DC20, look at his, just go look at his store. I bet it's still there. I bet he hasn't taken him down. That's my thing. I won't get into any more of that. Cypher system is Money Kick Games is all about the creativity. They support artists. They've supported me when my computer was destroyedeth by Zeus. And after the lightning strike and everything like that, and I had that GoFundMe because like I couldn't do any more writing, I couldn't do YouTube, I couldn't do anything because my computer blew up. Monica Games stepped up. Not only were there like personal gifts from them in the not the Kickstarter, the GoFundMe, but they were willing to like fund match up to, it was like I forget how much, but it was a significant amount. And then along came Zeus. And I've seen them be so supportive of other people. They're a human company. I don't know how to describe it anymore. That's part of the reason that they have my devotion. Is everything they release pure and utter gold? No. I'm going to be realistic, and they know I'm very realistic about that. But I do think what they possess, what they create as far as projects and content is really good. There is a lot of gold that gets pumped out of there. Nothing is perfect, but they do a really damn good job. They're willing to listen. They're just a great company, so I really like them. There are other companies that do great in a lot of other ways as well. I mean, Free League, come on, Free League puts out some good stuff. You can't say no. Even Paizo, okay, yes. Now every company, well, almost every company has had their little snafus. Paizo's had more than a few. But they put out some, I'd say way better than Wizards of the Coast, at least. They put out some good shit. Unmasked was meh. Unmasked has, I think if anyone's going to comment on Unmasked, it's going to be Alpha Dean. He's got thoughts on that one. I've read the Unmasked book. I never really played with it personally. All right, back to this. There can always be duds. Yeah, there's a few. Okay. The Weird. That is one of my favorite books by MCG because it is system agnostic and you can use it in any role-playing game. I think it's amazing. I think the layout is borderline atrocious. There are parts of the book that are very hard to read, and I'm not neurodivergent. I'm mundane ordinary. If you have any reading issues or neurodivergence or anything like that, The Weird is a nightmare to read for sections of it. I get where they were going with. It is The Weird after all. But there needs to be a plainer, easier to read version of the book. When they released, when you buy the copy, there should be a plain text version you can print or something. Because the content is amazing, but it's a tough one to read. Claim the Sky was a better venture into superheroes than Unmasked. Yeah. Oh, I used Claim the Sky. Funny enough, Claim the Sky. Okay, it wasn't the first Cypher book I ever got. That was obviously the other books. But Claim the Sky was the first. It was the first one that I got from Monty Cook Games for doing something. It was for one of the YouTube. I think that was one with Indestructible Boy and Tree and Monk and Discourse minis and stuff. It was my first time starting to receive books and stuff for free. It was really cool. I was like, oh my god, I'm doing a thing. Envy Silver R, yeah, he's right. Crazy Weasel is right, always. Decay rapidly is better than extremely quickly. Once again, don't use large words in a diminutive one's advice. But said I couldn't support the second Magnus TTRPG campaign, but I can't wait to see all the new content for that. Well, I mean, I'm getting it. So I mean, you'll have access to it. At the very least. I'm assuming the Esotech is something explained later in the book, and there will be a page referenced in the final product. Just be like, oh yes, just like ciphers and artifacts, it is explained at another point in the book. I'll leave it for now. For a regular person, the world plate is a giant mega city from edge to edge. For a regular person, I'm going to change this to an ordinary person, I think. Please. There we go. What the? Attempting to navigate. And then get rid of that one because he's front loading it because he's smart. Off topic, how's the house coming along? Pretty good. Weather's getting nice enough that I'm going to be able to finish the last of the drywalling in the basement and painting, I think, fairly soon. I mean, it's around our bedroom, so we had to be able to air it out. Garage is, I was organizing it the other day, and I discovered, we're going chatting for a second. I was super happy because when we moved in, we were told the garage was not insulated, and that's where the wood shop's going, right? So I went in there. I did some test holes the other day. Guess what I found behind the walls? Insulation. The walls are insulated. It's just the garage door that needs to be insulated and properly sealed. And the whole garage is insulated, which should be super dope. So it still has some work. I got to refinish the walls because they're a nightmare right now. I got to sand them, mud them, all that stuff. So that's going to be a bit of work, but it's going good. It's going good. We've been organizing everything else. We did a bunch of things. I finished off our bedroom closet the other day. Yeah, it's been going good. Avoiding a run-on sentence. Oh, that's why I split it. For an ordinary person to navigate is monumental undertaking. That makes sense. Split it there. Roy. And then capitalize. Add. To delve deeper and further into the labyrinth of structures and corridors that make up the abandoned areas, it becomes increasingly difficult to get your bearings. Yes, sir. Summer barbecue get together? Oh yeah. I'm also trying to bug Kyle and Val into something soon as well. I think he's still doing school, I think, so he's busy. But barbecue weather has begun. Let me know when you guys are normally like your free days, and we'll figure out something. We've just been so busy lately. Without a rebreather, semicolon, however. Should that be a semicolon? Many areas have barely breathable atmosphere that may become dangerous without a rebreather. Yeah, okay, no, I'll accept it. I'm still not entirely sure, but I'll accept it. Neil's shifts is like a week-by-week basis, but we always have weekends. Okay. We'll keep that in mind. We could do like a midday barbecue on a Saturday or Sunday. I'm normally pretty busy in the evenings. And then he's just restructuring the sentence with some punctuation and with additionally. Oh, because he split it. Kind with S. Whatever entities created the city were obviously not that similar to humans. What's wrong with humankind? Yeah, okay. Humans just sound better. Now I read it out loud to myself in my brain. Not out loud. Delete wood. Actually, after I stream, I might go back into the garage and organize a bit more today, because it's like, what's the temperature right now? I feel like it was freezing last night. But I feel like we're going to get back into double digits. Oh, I forgot to do my Duolingos last night, I think. People are messaging me. Oh yeah, it's 11 degrees already. We're gonna get to like 13 or 14 today. And then, oh, actually it's gonna stay, it's not gonna drop more than like till like 7 degrees. So like, that's not too bad. Getting warmer weather. Perfect. All right, Nella, you want to come help me clean up the garage? No. Delete casually. To walk down casually. Okay. Connecting corridors sometimes move at odd angles that are impossible for someone to walk down casually. Oh, that does flow better. I'm not sure why it flows better, but it does sound better. Yeah, I'll tell there are. Oh yeah, because he changed the first part of the sentence. Something with entities. Well, the city is mostly empty. There are a few areas with something resembling furniture that was made for... Oh, because he wants to get rid of the double somethings. Or entities with dramatic. Yeah, that makes sense. You're not going to come help clean out the garage anyways. It's... You're almost literally physically allergic to physical labor. I'm not going to... Okay, and then this one's going to be a big change. Main populace of those world plays are those that live in the city of Profligol. Profligol? Yep. With the residents of Profligol, the main populace of this world plane. I will change this a little bit. The residents of the city of Profligol. As soon as it catches up. It's the only thing, when you're in edit mode like this, for some reason it gets laggy. Yeah, Mr. Trask is, I think he's, might not be hanging out here right now, because it is, what, it's 2 p.m. here, which means it's probably 8 p.m. there. I think he's 6 hours difference from me. So, and he's got kids. So he's probably putting them down. Love helping others clean. Much better than cleaning my own space. Right? I think everyone kind of feels like that. Like if you're at someone else's house and you're like, I'm going to help you clean, and you feel like accomplished about it. And then you go home and you're like, I don't want to touch this shit. What's this I'm working on? This is my RPG Void Home. Right now, this is only a small chunk of the book. This is only 77,000 words. It's 1 p.m. What am I smoking? Oh, you're right, 1 p.m. I don't know why I thought 2 p.m. Okay, so it'd be like 7 o'clock there. There's only like 77,000 words of the book. Just getting some help with the editing of it. So I'm just going through the editing feedback that they gave me and stuff like that. And then the other chunks of the book are still sort of tinkering with before I toss it over and see what we can do. But we still have a lot. I'm just showing like approving the editing process and stuff. Replace with a period. He has me check. Oh, because he's having me move it. Okay, he's having me move it. I was like, is he having me delete the whole damn sentence? She's sneezing? I think she's laughing and sneezing. You can ignore this because that is actually correct. Why did it hate it there and not hate it there? I don't understand. T with T. Oh, because you got rid of with. Being R. To okay, it'll make, I see. Okay, it does make more sense if I accept all of his changes for this sentence. And I can't just like select and then mass. No, so I'm hoping I could just select this and be like, accept everything in this sentence. Because I don't think it's not like a right click for it or something, right? No. Okay. I hoped. Because like everything in that sense is right. It doesn't need to be changed. Bleh. Called. Burrow is not a proper noun. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Right. And robots should be uncapitalized. Look at him catching all this shit. Jesus. Yeah, I'm definitely setting aside a fund as I sell more copies to like just shoot towards these people. Should I feel little rewards for Twitch points? There isn't even a hydrate button. Yeah, well, I only just started doing Twitch again because I like YouTube has been my focus. I primarily like YouTube is my main thing. I just happen to be streaming on both Twitch and Moonbeam. I'm streaming on 3 platforms right now. My next campaign, I will be adding a bunch of things because we will be streaming. I will be going back to streaming a live action, like a let's play like campaign. And I want there to be a bunch of points where players can like, or players, where viewers can do stuff as well. So like they're like almost like players within the game with us, doing intrusions and all sorts of fun stuff. I'm hydrating. I've gone through like a whole coffee and like this, like half of this tumbler, most of this tumbler. Oh, criminal dark nature. There are many dark or criminal organizations because we replaced that. I get it. Esper Liberation Front, ELF. That's right. I have. If you want an elf, you can be an elf in my Void Home game. It's not a pointy-eared magical being. It's actually a different thing. Because elf in Void Home stands for Esper Liberation Front. You're a freedom fighter or terrorist, depending on who's viewing you. If you want to be an elf, you can. Oh, what has he done to this one? Okay. Well, it is instead of although. Makes sense. Get rid of the althous. Add. Oh, because he's moving it. Once again, front load versus back load. Right. He's doing this so that he can just put dead organic matter there. Aren't elves weird crustaceans and gods of the fall? I don't remember. I haven't played much in the way of the gods of the fall. Like I've like perused the book once and then that's about it. Working on, I see. Changing it to active. To die. That has arrived. I will warn some people, like for Void Home, once again, I didn't write this for everybody. There are aspects of this game not everyone is going to like. For instance, if you play an Esper, aka a Vic, if you're using the more prejudiced term for it, there are sections of society that will treat you horrendously. If you're lucky, they'll treat you as a second-class citizen. But there's slavery and other horrific things going on because humanity does bad things when they're desperate for survival. But I do reiterate that it's for the bad guys to use. You're not glorified slavers yourself. I don't have anything to support that. But bad guys do bad things. And I have bad things in this game. This is not a game for everybody. It's a sci-fi survival horror. It is meant to push some boundaries like that. It is going to try and make you uncomfortable. That is the point. So I know who I made it for. I made it for me. If anyone else enjoys it, awesome sauce. This is not, I find the more you try to make it for everybody, the more bland a setting is. And that's not what I'm trying to achieve here. And like you mentioned, the stream that have been has some kind of squat building. Oh, because he's moving it once again. Front load versus back load. My gosh, this man's good. Ugh. Squat, which is he just moved, so delete it. Spreads out with. Oh, I with I. Okay. Several of the monofits. I don't know. He made that change there, but I'm not sure about that one because this just feels like a sentence fragment. Just several of the monoliths are missing, just like out of nowhere. Where I had of the monoliths, several are missing. I kind of like the phrasing I had originally better, I think. Oops. Oh my god. It is so laggy when you're in edit mode for some reason. Like my hands are up. Let's see what if it types. Please type. Jesus, fuck. Let's try this. Oh my god. You see Dubas Goobas sweating nervously at the mention of slavery in a game like he did with Fallout New Vegas. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at his video on the Civil War. I'll have to look it up. Other ones, several are missing. My gosh. It'd probably go faster if I left edit mode, but then I'll lose my place where I am. Your phrasing. Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, I've only got 20 something left. Yeah. Once again, I think he's just switching this for front loading. Never seen that. Oh, and he managed to shorten it. It's never been seen before in their absence or whatever replaced him is of great interest. He's so good. It's like taking what I want to say and just made it good. I'm using Google Docs. It's just Google Docs. I used to use Scrivener and then I used Notion and now I'm just using Google Docs. Just because it's the easiest to share for like the editing and stuff. And when I'm not in edit mode, it doesn't have this weird lag issue. It's just when I'm in edit mode for some reason. Or not edit mode, commenter mode. When you're in actual edit mode, it's fine. It's just this commenter mode. It's laggy for some reason. And it's not just because I'm streaming. It happens even when I'm just there. Span. Shorten in a fairly short. Oh, I see. Because he wants to get rid of amount of. So in a fairly short time span as their systems degrade. in a fairly short time span as their systems degrade. Yeah, okay. That's good. Is it cheaper to print if it's less wordy? Yes. Less pages. And pages are expensive nowadays. So cutting down less words, better. And I'm not good at less words sometimes. I'm a wordy biatch. Trying to say that nicely. Thank you for sharing process. Oh, not a problem. Like I was saying earlier, it is a bit like I don't have anxiety problems. I'm fine with that. Whatever. But even with that, like it's a lot because once again, as was mentioned earlier, like you see so many like books come out that just seem polished and golden that it just you don't realize the process and how much the writers have had to go through stages and struggle, and then the editors reword it, and then like it doesn't come out gold and perfect right off the bat. It comes out rough and kind of shitty, and we have to make it polished. We have to polish that turd until it seems like a well-polished gemstone. So I don't mind showing people that I suck, that my smooth brain has some ideas, but I need assistance to turn it into something readable that's good. Tariff expensive. By the way, sometimes if I'm saying something you're not seeing the chat, it's because it's the Moonbeam chat. Only YouTube and Twitch are coming up on this chat, not the Moonbeam one. Tariff expensive. I mean, depends on how I get it printed. Like I'm going to do print on demand. I haven't decided exactly which service yet. Won't bother me too much if I print it in Canada. Remember, I'm not going to get into this. I don't get into politics stuff on any of my social medias. But remember, tariffs don't charge the country that the tariff is on. It charges the populace if they buy things from the tariffed country. I'm in Canada. So if I get it printed in Canada, it's no biggie. Hell, if I get printed practically anywhere in the world, it's no biggie. Even if I get it printed in the US, coming here, it ain't going to cost me extra. It's only if it gets printed in Canada and is bought by someone in the US, the American is going to have to pay more. That's how tariffs work. I'm not going to get into more details about that. I'm not into politics on my channel. I don't do that. Even if I have ideas. They're less identifiable front loading instead of back loading. Oh, he's so good. He's so good. Oh, no worries. I always just head it up just in case, because there's always going to be someone like that tries to drag me into the political talk, which like if it wasn't one of my public social medias, we'll have a discussion. But this is about games, so I generally try to keep it about the games. Work with youth, and there are awash in finished projects where the process is hidden. It makes them feel inadequate, and their first attempt is not on the finished work. Yeah, it's like how like so many teens are having issues with TikTok because they see these people that like their videos have been edited and color graded and pre-planned, and they're like, why don't I look that good? Well, that's because they're not showing you themselves as a human being. They're showing you themselves as like this like digital landscape that's been edited, basically. Same thing for stuff like this. Like, this is a big project. This is several 100,000 words. It's a lot of work. I've been working on this pretty much as a solo developer for a long time now because it's a lot of work. And I've had to I'm not married to my work, so I've had to redo entire sections of the book. People need to understand that's normal. Like, I look at my buddy Taryn with Vagabond. He has redone like Vagabond from like the original like 0.1 alpha to what is basically being fully released now is an entirely different game. Because he knows not to be married to his work. He knows that sometimes you got to Rip it apart. Start a section over. Try something new. Experiment and take a little bit of risk. He's an example of someone else that's also done it right. It takes work, and a lot of people need to. I think it's nice having people tooting my own horn here. It's nice having people like me. I'm awesome. But it's nice having people showing that this is a process. I know they teach you shit in school, but like you're in like high school or grade school or whatever. And no, you're like, I'm not going to pay attention to this. I want to think about dreamy boys and whatever people think about. Go so far, replace with... Ooh, boy. Yes. That happens. 2. Get rid of for the noticed. Yes. Okay, what's this bit, though? Trigate equations. The equation to reach here by the Trigate has been lost. Yeah, you know what? Let's codify that. He's right. And it cuts words, because there's several times it appears like this in the book. Oh, I think I typed the G wrong. I did. I don't need to capitalize equation. He suggests I'm not going to capitalize the equation, though. Oh my god, I almost caught up this section. Due to their... Oh, I see. He moved xenophobic to the next line? The real complications visitors might encounter are social conflicts with the locals. Oh, I see. He switches it as a separate thought. And then the settlers are extremely xenophobic and devout in their religious beliefs. It's an extra space there. Holy crap. I can imagine that the process of editing other people's submitted foci will be easier because it's not your work, but still a slog. Yeah. All right. Booyah. All right. All right. You did a good job. This section was pretty tiny. This is only 16,000 words, almost 17,000 words. So that section was pretty tiny. I know some of you that have only ever released like a couple page like document or something be like, that you said 17,000 words was tiny. Yeah. So I remember working with a couple 100,000 words. Yeah. There's a lot of content in these books, yo. Okay, I believe Shadowmane was the one that jumped ahead to do some of the PC management and running the game stuff. Let's take a look. So this is we're gonna see if he has any thoughts in the actual mechanics bit or if it's just wording. All right, buddy, let's see what you got for me. Oh, it started at the end. Okay, cool. However, O with O. Oh, that makes sense. Man, he starts strong. I was hoping he'd be like shitty at it, and I could be like, ha ha ha, I'm good at this. No, he just shows me I'm bad at this. Replace then with when a character advances in tier they. When a character advances in tier they. Reset which character advancements are available. Yeah. He's right. Remove snag. If the descriptor has a snag, you can remove it by selecting. Actually, I can get rid of by selecting this because that's just kind of assumed. Like you can remove it. Character has a snag. If your descriptor has a snag, you can remove it. And I think snag should be actually capitalized. Right. Oh, no, I didn't mean to click X. Oh. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out what one that was. Shit biscuits. T with T, wood. Because he wants to combine the sentences. While hunting, building crude survival structures, processing natural materials like animal hides and wood, these... Oh, dash these. Yeah. Actually, shouldn't it be like the double dash? Yes. It's not in this document because they don't have it there, but in Void Home, P descriptors, you design your own descriptor. I do have example ones there if you don't want to do it. So like if you want, say like appealing or like rough or something, I do have example descriptors, but they're made using this descriptor customization system that you make your own descriptor when you're doing character creation in Void Home. And one of the things you can choose is a snag, which gives you extra points to add into the descriptor for like extra like training or something. So like, you know, like addict, asthmatic, berserk, claustrophobic, you have a limp, you get null grav sickness, stress ball, stuff like that. So you can spend a thing to get rid of the snag from whatever. So basically, like, you think, oh, well, you can just, why choose it if you can just get rid of it? Well, you just wasted 4 points to get rid of it. So that's up to you. Stopping by to celebrate and thank you for streaming on Moonbeam. Thanks so much for checking us out. I hope you enjoy your time here. Hey, thanks, bud. Much appreciated. We've got a couple of feedbacks, couple small bugs, some feedbacks for stuff and everything, but honestly, we're pretty impressed. We're pretty happy so far. I'm really hoping this, you know, we are cautiously optimistic. We know this type of thing is not easy to do. I've been part of, like, you know, I tried with Mixer and Arena and other ones in the past, but honestly, like, we're really hoping this picks up. I've got ideas for like cool things we could do, having the communities being able to stream so easily together. I mean, that's just dope. I love it. So we're really hoping this picks up. We're pushing the hell out of it. That's for sure. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have only been live like 16 hours or something like that. So the fact that I've been part of the launches of some other streaming platforms that had far less when they launched. You guys at least thought of that one ahead of time. You made sure you had most of the basics down pat. So we appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing this. I was going through his shit next. Plays H with this shows how good you are. So yeah, that makes. Yeah, I'll accept it. Both I think would work, but yeah. Oh, I see. He's just trying to get rid of her saying how good. I see what he's doing there. I see what he's doing. piloting. I feel like this is supposed to be a semicolon. I gotta suck at this. Piloting, whether it's a small wheeled craft to through the deserts, a winged glider to safely get you off a cliff, or definitely moving a spaceship through dangerous debris. Period. Yeah, I'll accept it for now. Pilfer is your sleight of hand, misdirection, or subterfuge used to take things that are not yours, blah, blah, blah. And we are going through the aptitudes right now. Navigate. This shows. See, we already have a this shows. Yeah, I'll leave it. That's good. This is how... Yeah. For initiative, that's just how quickly you are to react in a given situation. It's specifically used during the conflict system when you wish to interrupt another. It's also use. It's also. I get it. It's also an apostrophe because it is. It's. Got it. He really wants to put the this shows in it all. Yeah, I think so. Place.c with or. So he's combining these sentences. Holding your breath for an extended period or... Oh, that's why. Because it was a multi-x... Or... Carrying... That's going to make a partial sentence. I'm going to accept these to get these out of the way. Oh, no, never mind. He got rid of the capital. He's combining the sentences. Never mind. He already did what I was just thinking of. Let's read this through just to make sure. There may be times you need to push your body for prolonged periods of time, walking for literal days, holding your breath for an extended period, or carrying an excessive amount of equipment. This is your... Yeah, okay. Actually, that reminds me that this pilot should be... a colon, maybe. Okay. All right. Their creations... Okay, so he's putting a dash. Isn't... What? I don't know what he was going for here. I think this should be semicolon. I don't know why he's got this. Okay, leftover their creations. Technology. Okay. Technology so well alien that normal scientific methods can't explain. How they work. I'm gonna have to rip this apart a bit. Let's see. The Aura system itself is an ancient alien construct beyond human understanding that is unfathomably old. In it are ancient alien devices, or ancient... I'm going to get rid of alien. We've already mentioned it's alien ones. In it are ancient devices and even whole civilizations that have come and gone over time. left over. Actually, this should be dash left over. Actually, is it left? I think I gotta reword this. Looked over the creations, technology so alien that normal scientific. I've got to rip apart this. Our creations. So I made this very conversational and it shouldn't be. So other. We could do like that. That normal scientific methods can't explain how they work. This is what is known as esotechnology, or esotech for short. Although you could never hope to craft things with this. Never hope to craft things within this mysterious. That is incorrect because you can. It's just really, really hard. We can just get rid of that. Okay. No, he did this backwards. Actually, this should be. These are mechanical keywords. So this should all be speed. This should all be capitalized because we have it in our design document. I am capitalizing anything that's a mechanical keyword. Okay, that can be lowered. And then this should be, get rid of the word attacks there. One for each, light, medium, and heavy. And then we can capitalize attacks. These determine how capable you are with each type, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You are not restricted to the default list. You may develop others you think are appropriate for the character. Yes. Actually, no, I'm going to keep it as is for campaign. Because it's like the campaign setup, right? Oh my god. Thank you. Descriptor, custom package to represent the personality of your character. This actually would be this, I do believe. Like angry, calm, or loving. Each player crafts a custom descriptor as presented later in this chapter. Booyah! He just says get rid of as makes sense. The GM may determine a large quantity of smaller items may amount to a certain amount of... I have amount twice. I gotta get rid of that too. I can get rid of that as makes sense. He's right. That needs to be get rid of. So made it a large quantity of smaller items may total to a certain amount of bulk. Or may combine. Right? To a certain amount of bulk. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. That's better. That's jumping all over the place. Are you using the possessive for this? You're familiar with RPGs? No, that is a mistake. Whoops. God damn it. Creating a character is something you know well. You are crafting a person with his blah blah blah. Okay, that's good. Yes, good job, Abel. Someone. Keeping Abel. Punctuation, knowledge of history, or turn to myth. He's right. Doesn't need one there. Doesn't need one there. It's your story. How does it look when he does it? This is your story to tell. Okay. You're a survivor to craft and follow. Yeah. He's just any sort of character you want. I'm not going to end this with this. I'm going to do with this. Human, robot, cat, or dog. Because if you want to play a kitty cat, you can play a kitty cat. Just like the kitty cat on Alien. So why not? I don't know why I added those, but I just felt like it needed it. Just felt like it needed it. Fragment, but not sure what else it needs. Your concept is also likely influenced by the scenario your group has chosen. If you're a group of cleaners, then you likely have more military style to you. Such as... Didn't need the as there. He is correct. I fixed it. Another fragment. If your group starts as space truckers, you'll likely play something very different than the cleaners. Like... and every day. And then we do the fragment. Labor, criminal on the run, etc. If you're stuck for a concept, you can always do things in this chapter out of order. Use steps. Maybe roll some... Okay, and the rest of it's good. Delete this. That is correct. I don't know why I have it. I keep typing PCs as a possessive. I don't know why. That's a bad habit. Use who or what? Whom you have a mutual hate for. Is that not the proper usage of whom? Someone important to you betrayed you in the worst way. You have a powerful enemy out there whom you have mutual hate for. Is that not how to use whom? Use whom as the object of a verb or preposition, similar to how you would use him or her when referring to the person receiving the action of being the object of the preposition. Hate. Hating is you are hating. Object. Whom's correct? I'm keeping whom? Discuss with the GM. Yeah, it doesn't need the word this. Yeah, that's correct. That's right. I don't. It was just a mistype. I don't know why there's like half a parenthesis there. However, and then there should be, oh, did I not type the... No, he did that wrong. When you have a however, you were supposed to have a comma immediately afterwards. It's a leading, what is it called? Leading conjunction preposition or something like that. If you have a however, or an although, or an also, or an and, which you normally should not start a sentence with, but if you do, I believe you're supposed to have a comma immediately after it. I could be wrong. Smoothest of brains here. But I'm pretty sure you are. I'm gonna keep it. Travel, book learning, or something else. He's right. That should not be a separate sentence. Your character has gained experience in a new subject. Yes, that is correct. He is right. He is right. They're always so right. Wealth task. Delete the S. Oh yeah, because it's a wealth task. Might can represent how much influence I think I want to keep influence there. Unless I'm using the word influence wrong. Oh, it's getting windy out. Way to type dictionary.com. Oh, it's so bright. It's blinding me. The capacity or power of persons or things to be compelling force on or produce the effects on the actions, behavior, opinions of others. Are the actions, behaviors, opinions of another source. Yeah, influence. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to keep it as influence. Because this is directly referencing it being a narrative RPG and you're having influence on the scene. Your effort represents how hard you can push yourself to succeed and... Did I have two ands? I did. and. By default, your character can comfortably carry up to 2 bulk. Tiny items do not have bulk and do not count towards this limit. Place period with a... This limit... What? A... No. This period, and then I can get rid of although, just put the GM. The GM may determine large quantity of smaller items may combine to a certain amount of bulk. Yes. Yes! Which is explained further in bulk. All right. I like it. All right. Just 79 more to go. Then maybe we'll switch gears and I'll tinker with him of the dragon flower for a hot second. Wow, I've been going for 3 hours already. I used to like stream longer. I don't do the super long streams anymore. 79. All right, Jason. Bring it. Bring it, bruh. Starts off strong. My freaking possessive PCs. Why do I do that? Why do I do that? For game purposes, okay, that makes sense. For game purposes, here let's do it like in this order. You want to make sure that the players with a little work, are able to get what they need to continue the game. If they're relying on a spaceship to travel, okay, that does make sense. Make sure they have the avenues to acquire the material needed to repair their ship. You don't have to make it easy, just possible. Yes. Okay. One of the themes of Void Home is scarcity, short of salvaging lost ships, alien locations, etc. Yeah, I don't know why I split that. He is correct. Continuance. There we go. Look at that. Strong start. Strong start. Well, he says I should put the entire word for miscellaneous instead of misc. I just typed misc because I was lazy. And he caught me. Don't be lazy. All. So he wants to join it. However, subtle ciphers can be easy as well, since they can be granted at any time due to luck, inspiration, alien influence, and more. I think that should be a semicolon. All will it need for a player to actively seek it out. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Okay. I have added too many colons. Or not colons, commas. Sits with has. Should be rare that a player. Yeah, he's right. That just makes sense. I don't know why I wrote sits with. What is that? Past me. Oh, Jason, you're spitting out gold here. Award with reward. There are various ways to reward your players during the course of an hour, and when you award them, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I completely flipped when to use reward and award in those sentences. It's E with E. Yeah, otherwise that's a sentence fragment. Consistency means you can protect yourself from future disagreements or issues about these house rules. Yes. Shackle yourself to doing one thing. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. 2. Yep. He is correct. I don't know why I had 2. It was too much. A smart GM. Yeah, I didn't need but. No buts. Cannot lie. He is combining human difficulties of 7 to 10. I can get rid of this. Cannot be rolled without, it should be 1, some sort of modification. And did he put the double dash? He did. That should be the double dash. Whether that's aptitudes, assets, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Right. In Void Home, when to roll for a task isn't just as basic as can they fail. Theoretically, anyone can fail at just about anything. I, the writer of this book, that is correct, have failed to walk upstairs several times in my adult life. Which is true. Even in my own book, I write how much of a failure I am at basic life. Okay. If I do these changes, having PCs roll just for the sake of there being failure is tedium, not fun. So when you ask for a task roll, you, the GM, need to ask yourself, and then he's putting it in proper quotes because you're asking yourself, and I should have put it in proper quotes. That is correct. Is there a chance of failure? And if they fail, is there something interesting or dramatic that can happen as a result? Yes. That part's me. I just didn't put it in quotes. If the answer is yes to both of these questions, then yes, you should call for a task roll because you're not the one making the task roll, so call for sounds right. Let me guess, another possessive PCs. Oh my god. Why do I do that? You feel replaced. You feel safe. You feels. What did I write there? I stroked out in the middle of a sentence. If a player, okay, this, I see where he was trying to fix, but it didn't fix it. Okay. If your group is unsure how to play something, or if there's a disagreement on how to run something, the GM has the final say. If a player feels the GM should or could handle it differently, they should write down their comment or suggestions and bring that. Yes, okay, there we go. We got it. Teamwork, and we did it. I did it, Reddit. Phobia, delete. This could be due to trauma or phobia, which would be, no, I'm keeping the comma there, sir. Because there has to be a separation with this or. Otherwise, could be due to a trauma or a phobia would render the game unplayable to them. And it's how to read this. Could be due to a trauma or phobia, which could render the game to them. Nope. Comma needs to be there. Good try. Don't forget to plan for some 10 to 15 deletes. Oh, yeah. Why did I have a dash there? He's right. See, I add too many commas, but I think he's trying to delete too many commas. Let's do this. Don't overplan your session. And then he's gonna combine these. Please do the needful. Especially in an RPG like Void Home, as compared to some other RPGs where players have a larger blah 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 capacity. Yes, that works. G with dash G. That's a big sentence. Story beats are a list of points that you would like to see manifest at some point in this. Manifest at some point. I don't need in the story. I'm not going to do this at some point. Please type. Thank you. Story beats are a list of points you would like to see manifest. Goals to aim towards and interesting. I want to get rid of points. It's an interesting. just ideas to insert as the game happens. By planning it this way, it does not matter when or where these story beats apply. Yes. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. Not only is Void Home designed for an improvisational style of play, but, and he's joining the sentences because I don't know why I had those as separate sentences, and he's right. But both the GM and the players are given the narrative tools to guide it back in the direction they hope for. Right. I don't need the so. We don't need to get that casual conversated. Okay. All you need are a couple of difficulty numbers, and he's correct. I can get rid of that. Feel free to embrace the design principle of modularity. And he is suggesting to combine it. Modularity if you have a particular story beat or plot point that is integral to the plot. And that should be there because then this completes this as a single thought. Yes, okay. This is why narrative contrast is important to consider if the play sessions are nothing but high octane action all the time. Every time. Nope. This shouldn't be there, but it should be there. All the time, every time. Then eventually it could feel boring or monotonous despite being action. This does not need to be there though. Okay, I think that makes more sense. This doesn't mean holding entire shopping sessions. Please don't. It does mean sprinkling in a variety of scenes. Okay, good. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're almost done. Awesome, just tracked over here from YouTube's. Thanks for getting me going on Moonbeam. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we're getting we're getting it going. We're trying it out. Seeing so far it's been pretty good. So far I haven't had too much in the way of bugs. We've got a couple of feedbacks for them, but so far it's actually been a pretty streamlined experience considering they like literally just launched less than a day ago. So all right. This narrative agency is shared with players. Let me reread that. Many RPGs, the GM has complete agency over the world, its details, NPCs, etc., and the players only have narrative agency over their PC and nothing else. In Void Home, this narrative agency is shared. No, he got rid of more, and I think it actually should be more so with the players. As soon as it types it. More so with the players. I thought you could type more so as a word. Well, widely accepted is considered a non-standard modern spelling. Usually for more informal writing. Okay, so more so is sort of accepted. Basically grammatical slang. So in Void Home, this narrative agency shared more. How about in greater amounts with the players? English keeps changing. It is very annoying. I know, right? Just stay still. Okay, there we go. The narrative tools, they get a taste of the GM power and help shape the world around them in a lighter version of what. Through narrative tools, they get a taste of that GM power and help to shape the world around them. Albeit in a lighter version. Whereas like albeit is a word. I'm pretty sure albeit is accepted. Don't tell me that's like more so. If it types, so the problem is I'm in the commenter mode to adjust this, and I believe there's also other people currently working on the same document, and it's kind of like lagged a bit. Yeah, I can type the word albeit, but I can't type more so. Okay. Albeit is, I guess, accepted English now. And you know, instead of, let's do form instead of version. Okay, I like it. You can take those few simple sentences as points to work from. Yeah, he's right. That would be better. Okay, keep going. Replace does keep with keeps. Void home. Keep. He's right. Yeah, just. If there's a question about how, yeah, I don't know. I added the so at the beginning. If you run across something unexpected in the middle of a session, it changes the context a little bit, but I think for the better. He's right. Again, I just keep saying that. Whether it's freaking Jason Shadowmane or Crazy Weasel, just over and over, I'm like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right. If you run across something unexpected in the middle of a session, let the players know. I'm not entirely sure how this works. Yeah, I guess I didn't need that. Simplify. That was in my assistance notes. I asked it let's streamline the verbiage down as much as possible. Replace P with they have. Add P. Yes, that helps splinter it from being a sentence fragment. So T with T. I don't know why I begin with the so. Why did I do that so often? That's too casually conversative. You ask yourself, and then I didn't make it proper quotes, so he is just fixing what I really should have done in the first place. That makes sense. Wait, did he double quotes? I do need punctuation here, though. Always ask yourself, what could add drama to this scene? There actually is supposed to be something after. God, English is weird. Yeah. He's working on the tense. Feeling so tense. B with B, he's combining the sentence. It's still expected that the characters don't act on information they shouldn't know, but that makes sense. It should be the same sentence. I don't know if I'd agree with his removal, because you as the audience. Oh no, I do agree with that first one. No, I do agree with that first one. Actually, I agree with both of them. Damn it, he's right. Of with such as. If the characters act on the meta knowledge a little too much, there's nothing wrong with a question such as. And then I actually put in the proper quotes and questions there. This is just. This can act as either a gentle reminder of its meta knowledge. Oh no, that was right, I think. Why would you do that? This can act either as a gentle reminder that it is. I did have an "it's" with the apostrophe. I guess I guess Google just doesn't know what I was trying to say. It doesn't realize meta knowledge is being used as a term here. If it yells at me, I'm going to tell it to ignore it. Even provide the player. Okay, it's good. It's good. Some things in the game that let characters, yes, characters stop sources of impact or demand an end, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's okay. It's all right to let them have easy wins, and that should be joining in the sentence because it doesn't need to be separate. He is correct. It involves... It's all right to let them have easy wins, especially if it involves... Google caught one. Good job, Google. Only got a few more left. Not un... I really overcomplicated that sentence. Put it... whatever. Grammar humor. I'm a nerd. Every player is going to mesh with you and your group perfectly, especially in public games where you likely never blah blah blah. Sometimes players can be especially challenging. Yeah, I don't need even. Start by talking to them like fellow adults. Say something that doesn't vilify them or make them feel attacked. Such as, that's good. Good ad. Game dials difficulty. Something that is straightforward should be set as a difficulty 1 and most difficult should be set to 10. A few rare exceptions. There is no definitive guide to rather than on. Why is it weird? Although your main task as a game monitor is to create the foundation of the story and help guide it along, one of the most important things you need to do mechanically is to be able to set the difficulties. Something that is straightforward should be set as a difficulty of 1. I am going to rewrite this. You gonna type? Google's taking a shit today. I'm like sitting here. I typed a whole sentence. Please, Google, give me some words. Any day now. But it's just like, no, it's still trying to do it. What the whoa, and then it's just like words. From the easiest of difficulties as a 1 to the hardest of difficulties as a 10. Thank you. Actually, this should be one of the most. So you'll set the difficulties, and then this should be semicolon here, this, and then this. From the easiest of difficulties, the 1 to the hardest of the 10. Okay, he is right, and I have rewritten that hopefully to be better. If opening the airlock is a mild blockage of the PC's path and the difficulty, yeah, okay, he is right. Get rid of that. If the airlock is being opened, it vital to trigger a point in the story, and failing to do so would cause drama or something interesting to happen. Then he's correct. That does not need to be there. That is the single preposition before the separate trigger. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Good job, Jason. Good job. Dang. All right. I still want to go over it. The running the game one. Another one that's like, it's not stupidly big, but it's bigger. This one's got, oh no, this one only has 7,000 words of that section. Smaller than I thought. That's not too bad. Oh my god, Moonbeam. Stop unpausing my freaking thing. It's like a pause it for a reason. I've already got it. I've already got it in places. I don't need the billion. Yeah. Stab. All right. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I thought I was going to accomplish more today than I did, but I've already been streaming 3 hours and I'm dancing in my seat a little bit because my back hurts. And I've got other things I want to achieve today. And I mean, 3 hours, I'm not one of those people that's going to stream like 12 hours just to doing writing and editing and stuff. Like, you're only going to stick around for so long when it's just text on a screen. So I think that means I'm probably going to call it for today. I'm going to go get another drink, do little stretches, and it is turning into a nice day because what is the temperature right now? It is 13 degrees, almost 14 degrees. It's shorts weather for me. So I want to go tinker in my future wood shop. Start organizing it to turn it into said wood shop. It's like, hey, right now it's just a bunch of it's just a room with a bunch of tools in it. I just happen to have a table saw and a miter saw in it and stuff, but like no actual like workbench or anywhere to organize shit. So, you know, let's start that. Let's start doing some things. Plus I got to like do other errands and do stuff. Like I've got a bunch of boards for board battens for our bedroom. I got to bring in to actually like acclimatize the room and stuff. I got shit to do. Over 3 hours, 3 hours and 10 minutes. I'm doing pretty good. I think it's pretty good for now. I will be streaming a lot more coming up soon. I'm going to have a couple of Moonbeam only streams that I have planned. I will be releasing information about that when I'm gonna try to make that a regularly scheduled thing so people know when it's going to happen. So I'm going to try and figure out when I'm doing that. I already know what I'm doing and I'll release a thing about that soon. But I want to make it where it's like a community thing that we're doing together. It's not just you watching me. I want it to be like the point of streaming, as far as I'm concerned, is the interaction with the audience. If I'm just doing a thing and you're watching me, why isn't this just like a YouTube VOD? So I wanted to be interactive, so I have ideas. But thank you everyone for joining me. This has been a pretty good stream. If you like what I do, feel free to visit my links. Did I have the thing? Yeah. Visit my links. Maybe like toss a couple of bucks for this Canuck for some brewskis. Don't feel that you have to though. Of course, like world is shit nowadays, so whatever. But if you've got a couple extra bucks, I mean, I turn monetization off on all of my YouTube channels and all my YouTube videos and stuff like that because I'd rather you watch it hopefully as ad-free as possible. So a few extra bucks just to help me when I'm doing things like books like this, super appreciated. But that's all I got for you today. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, and